You think your phone is just a tool? Think again. Right now, at this very moment, it's quietly dismantling your relationship piece by piece, and you don't even see it happening. You're not aware that every swipe, every scroll, every notification is creating invisible distance between you and the person you claim to love. And here's the brutal truth nobody wants to tell you: these aren't just bad habits, they're tactical errors that are costing you intimacy, trust, and emotional connection. Today, I'm exposing 7 digital habits that are secretly sabotaging your relationship. And by the end of this, you'll either wake up and change, or you'll watch everything fall apart while staring at a screen. Let's start with the first one. Number 1, scrolling in bed at night. You think this is harmless. You think it's just unwinding after a long day. But here's what's really happening. Every single night, when you climb into bed and immediately reach for your phone instead of your partner, you're making a choice. You're choosing 1,000 strangers over the one person who's lying right next to you. You're choosing algorithmic content designed to hijack your dopamine system over real human connection. And your partner, they feel it. They might not say anything, but they feel invisible. They feel like they're competing with Instagram models, motivational quotes, and comedy sketches for your attention, and they're losing. Every single night, they're losing. This habit doesn't just steal time, it steals intimacy. It kills conversation. It creates an emotional wall between two people who are physically inches apart but emotionally miles away. Your brain thinks it's relaxing, but what it's actually doing is training itself to associate bed with digital stimulation instead of emotional connection. You're literally rewiring your neural pathways to prefer screens over skin. And over time, that bed stops being a place of intimacy and becomes just another location where you scroll. Here's your solution, and it's going to hurt at first. Create a phone free zone. 30 minutes before sleep, both phones go on airplane mode and stay in another room. No exceptions. No emergencies that can't wait until morning. Use that time to talk. Use it to touch. Use it to remember why you chose this person in the first place. Because if you can't disconnect from your phone for 30 minutes to connect with your partner, you need to ask yourself a hard question. Who are you really in a relationship with? Number 2, stalking your ex on social media. You tell yourself it's curiosity. You tell yourself it's closure. You tell yourself it's harmless because you're not actually reaching out. But deep down, you know the truth. Every time you check their profile, you're reopening a wound that should be healing. You're keeping them emotionally present in your life when they should be in your past. And here's the part that destroys relationships. You're comparing. You're comparing your current partner to a highlight reel of someone who's probably just as miserable as everyone else, but knows how to filter it well. This habit is emotional infidelity. You might not be physically cheating, but you're mentally checked out. You're investing emotional energy into someone who no longer deserves access to your inner world. And your current partner can sense it. They might not know exactly what you're doing, but they feel the distance. They feel like they're not enough. They feel like they're competing with a ghost. And they're right. Every time you search for that name, you're telling the universe you're not fully committed to moving forward. You're 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And relationships can't survive that kind of emotional limbo. You're sabotaging your present by romanticizing a past that wasn't even that good when you were living it. Because if it was that good, you'd still be together. Here's what you do: block them, unfollow them, make it physically inconvenient to check their life, delete the shortcuts your muscle memory has created, and then make a commitment. Every time you get the urge to check, do something for your current relationship instead. Send your partner a text, plan a surprise, do literally anything that invests in your present instead of your past, because your future depends on where you put your attention right now. Number 3, the instant reply obsession. You've trained yourself to respond immediately to every message, every notification, every ping, and you think this makes you reliable. You think this makes you a good partner. But here's what it actually does: it makes you a slave to other people's urgency. It destroys your boundaries. It tells the world that you're always available, always accessible, always willing to drop everything for whoever demands your attention in that moment. And here's the cruel irony: the people who truly love you don't want that version of you. They want the version of you who values their own time enough to protect it. When you reply instantly to everyone, you're sending a message to your partner that everyone is equally important. Your boss, your friends, random group chats, they all get the same immediate response that your partner does. There's no hierarchy, there's no priority. And that lack of differentiation kills specialness. Your partner doesn't feel special when they're treated exactly the same as everyone else in your contact list. This habit also trains people to expect instant access to you. And when you can't deliver, when you're finally present with your partner and don't respond right away, those other people feel neglected. They feel ignored. And suddenly you're managing everyone else's emotional expectations instead of protecting your relationship. You've become a customer service representative for your entire social circle, and your relationship is paying the price. Here's the tactical fix, and it's going to feel uncomfortable. Start delaying your responses, not to your partner, to everyone else. When someone texts you, wait 20 minutes before responding. See what happens. See who respects that boundary and who gets upset that you're not immediately available. The people who get angry are showing you they don't respect your time. They only respect their own urgency, and those are the people you need to create distance from. Meanwhile, create a different standard for your partner. Make them feel what it's like to actually be prioritized. Respond to them quickly. Respond to them thoughtfully. Show them through your response time that they matter more than everyone else, because they should. Number 4, your double life on social media. You post about your relationship when it's convenient, when you're on a nice date, when you're on vacation, when everything looks picture perfect. But the rest of the time, you're curating a single person aesthetic. Solo shots, mysterious captions, quotes about independence and self love that make you look emotionally available to everyone except the person you're actually with. You're creating a digital version of yourself that doesn't quite match your real life. And that gap between your online persona and your relationship reality is a breeding ground for distrust. Your partner sees this. They see you present yourself as essentially single online while being coupled offline. And it makes them wonder, are you ashamed of this relationship? Are you keeping your options open? Are you signaling to your exes or potential interests that you're not fully committed? And even if none of that is true, even if you're just posting what gets the most likes, the damage is done. Because perception shapes reality in relationships. This habit also invites inappropriate attention. When you look single online, people slide into your DMs treating you like you're single. And even if you never respond, even if you have perfect boundaries, your partner knows this is happening. They know other people are shooting their shot, and it creates anxiety. It creates insecurity. It creates unnecessary stress in a relationship that's supposed to be your safe space. The solution is radical honesty in your digital presence. If you're in a relationship, show it. Not every single post, but enough that there's no confusion about your status. Make your partner feel valued in the digital world the same way you want them to feel valued in the real world. Stop curating a version of yourself that leaves room for misinterpretation, because your relationship deserves to be visible, not hidden behind an aesthetic of strategic ambiguity. Number 5, the silent treatment via read receipts. You read their message. They know you read their message, but you don't respond. Maybe you're busy. Maybe you're upset. Maybe you're just not in the mood to engage. But here's what's happening on their end. They're spiraling. They're analyzing every word they sent. They're wondering what they did wrong. They're creating stories in their head about why you're ignoring them. And those stories are never good. Those stories always assume the worst. This digital version of the silent treatment is more toxic than the original because it comes with proof. The red receipt is evidence that you're actively choosing not to respond. It's not that you didn't see the message, it's that you saw it and decided they weren't worth 30 seconds of your time to acknowledge. And that feels like rejection. That feels like punishment. That feels like manipulation. You might think you're just taking time to craft the perfect response. You might think you're protecting yourself from saying something you'll regret. But what you're actually doing is weaponizing communication. You're using the silent treatment as a power move. You're making your partner chase you, beg for your attention, grovel for a response. And that's not love. That's control. Here's how you fix this. If you read it, respond to it. Even if it's just, I saw this, but I need some time to think about it. I'll get back to you later. That simple acknowledgement prevents spiraling. It shows respect. It shows emotional maturity. And if you're genuinely too busy to respond, turn off your read receipts. Remove the evidence that you're ignoring them. Give yourself the space to respond when you're actually ready without creating unnecessary anxiety. Because healthy relationships don't play games with communication. Number six, secret DMs. You tell yourself they're harmless, just friendly conversations, just catching up with old friends, just innocent flirting that doesn't mean anything. But here's the test. Would you be comfortable showing these messages to your partner? If the answer is no, you already know what you're doing is wrong. You already know you're crossing a line, and the fact that you're hiding it proves it. Secret DMs create parallel emotional relationships. You're developing intimacy with someone who isn't your partner. You're sharing thoughts, feelings, and attention with someone outside your relationship, and it doesn't matter if it never becomes physical. Emotional affairs are just as devastating, sometimes more devastating because they involve your actual thoughts and feelings, not just your body. Every message you send in secret is a message you're not sending to your partner. Every moment you spend crafting the perfect response to someone else is a moment you're not investing in your relationship. You're fragmenting your emotional energy. You're giving pieces of yourself to people who haven't earned that access, and your partner is getting whatever's left over. The fix is brutal but necessary. If you can't show it to your partner, don't send it. Period. Create that rule and stick to it. And if there are conversations happening right now that violate that rule, end them, delete them. Come clean to your partner about the boundary you crossed. Because secrets are relationship poison. They create distance, they breed distrust, and they always come out eventually. The only question is whether you'll confess before you're caught or after. One has a chance at forgiveness, the other destroys trust permanently. Number seven, constant digital comparison. You scroll through social media and see other couples. The romantic gestures, the expensive trips, the perfect bodies, the constant happiness, and you start comparing. You start wondering why your relationship doesn't look like that, why your partner doesn't do those things, why your life doesn't measure up to the highlight reels you're consuming for hours every day. And that comparison kills gratitude. It kills contentment. It kills your ability to appreciate what you actually have. This habit turns you into a perpetual victim of FOMO in your own relationship. You're never satisfied because you're constantly measuring your reality against other people's carefully curated fiction. You're comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. And that's a game you can never win. Because no matter how good your relationship is, someone online will always appear to have it better. This constant comparison creates resentment. You start resenting your partner for not being more romantic, more adventurous, more attractive, more everything. You stop seeing them for who they actually are and start seeing them as a disappointment compared to what you think you could have. And your partner feels that resentment. They feel like they're not enough. They feel like they're constantly being judged against impossible standards. And slowly, they stop trying because nothing they do will ever measure up to your digitally distorted expectations. Here's the harsh truth you need to accept. Those perfect couples you're jealous of, half of them are miserable behind closed doors. The other half are just better at branding. Nobody posts their real fights. Nobody posts their financial stress. Nobody posts the boring, mundane reality of long-term relationships. You're comparing your full experience to their edited highlights. And that comparison is destroying your ability to be present and grateful for what you have. The solution is a social media diet. Cut your consumption in half, then in half again. Replace that scrolling time with presence in your actual relationship. And when you do scroll, practice active gratitude. For every perfect couple you see, list three things you're grateful for in your own relationship. Retrain your brain to appreciate what's real instead of coveting what's fake. Because your relationship deserves to be measured against your own values and goals, not against Instagram's algorithm of envy. These 7 digital habits are tactical traps. They're designed by tech companies to keep you engaged, addicted, and constantly consuming. But they're not designed to protect your relationships. They're not designed to build intimacy. They're designed to steal your attention, fragment your focus, and keep you coming back for more dopamine hits at the expense of real human connection. And if you don't take control of these habits right now, they will destroy what you have. Your relationship is not failing because you're incompatible. It's not failing because you fell out of love. It's failing because you're making tactical errors every single day that slowly erode trust, intimacy, and emotional connection. And the worst part, you don't even realize you're doing it. These habits feel normal. They feel harmless. They feel like everyone else is doing them, so they must be okay. But they're not okay. They're relationship poison wrapped in convenience and entertainment. You have a choice right now. You can keep lying to yourself that your phone habits don't matter. You can keep telling yourself that you'll change eventually, that you'll put more effort into your relationship when things calm down, when work gets easier, when life gets less busy. Or you can wake up right now and realize that every day you delay, every day you choose your screen over your partner, you're making a choice. And that choice has consequences. The person you love is right there. They're waiting for you to put down the phone and see them. They're waiting for you to choose them over the endless scroll. They're waiting for you to protect your relationship with the same intensity you protect your screen time. And if you don't start now, one day you're going to look up from your phone and realize they stopped waiting. They moved on, they found someone who actually prioritized them, and you'll be left with your perfectly curated feed and nobody to share your real life with. Break these habits, protect your relationship, choose real connection over digital distraction, because your relationship won't survive on autopilot. It won't survive while you're half present and half scrolling. It needs your full attention. It needs your full commitment. It needs you to fight for it against every notification, every algorithm, every digital trap that's trying to pull you away. If this video hit you hard, if you recognized yourself in any of these 7 habits, do something about it right now. Subscribe to this channel because we're going to keep exposing the tactical errors that destroy relationships so you can avoid them. Drop a comment and tell me which habit you've struggled with the most. Your story might be the one that saves someone else's relationship. Hit that like button if you're ready to choose real intimacy over digital distraction. And share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Because chances are someone you know is making these same mistakes and has no idea they're sabotaging their own happiness. Your relationship is worth fighting for. Now prove it.